What is up, ladies and gents? In today's video, we're going to be talking all about Alchemy Pay. We're going to be discussing what we are seeing here on the charts, and I'll be giving you guys a price prediction for where I think Alchemy Pay is going over the next few days and weeks. Of course, I'll also be giving you my 2025 target as well, so be sure to stay tuned for all of that. Of course, if you are a new viewer, then welcome to this channel. If you do like this sort of content, hit the like button and subscribe for more. If you are a returning viewer, as always, welcome back to the channel. It's great to see you all here. And I want to hear from you guys as well. Let me know down in the comments whether you are still holding your Alchemy Pay. Let me know as well if you're bullish or bearish here on ACH for 2025. So with that being said, let's dive straight into this video. And first and foremost, we're just going to talk about what we are seeing here on the charts. And of course, the past few weeks here on Alchemy Pay have been a little bit rough. Of course, the downtrend on here is real. It feels like a slow bleed on the price, but if you have held through this period, just know that you are not alone. Pretty much every single crypto and even every single stock that you see on the US stock market has pretty much followed this path throughout February and into March as well. We've just seen a general market decline. Obviously, here on ZBEC, we've been following this downtrend that you can kind of define with this trend line heading downwards. Of course, every single time the price has come up to this trend line, it's been rejected, and therefore prices have been kept in this general downwards direction here on Alchemy Pay. So that's the current trend that we are in. However, here on Alchemy Pay, things are looking very, very interesting because, of course, we've bounced off from this 2 cents area. And of course, if you zoom out a little bit here on the charts, this was quite an important area for Alchemy Pay anyway. As you can see, the prices have come down to this respective level at roughly the 2 cents region on multiple different occasions. And most recently, we saw quite a strong bounce from this area yet again. So my immediate thoughts here on Alchemy Pay is that we've got this confluence here between this resistance going down and the support level here. Now, of course, Alchemy Pay has to choose a direction stemming from this. And I do think it's more likely that the prices break past this resistance in a fashion like this, for example. And of course, when that happens, we could potentially start to see a new uptrend here on Alchemy Pay. Of course, another reason for that is if we zoom out here on Alchemy Pay, there's another strong support in this region here. In fact, if we just zoom all the way out, we've been looking at this support now on the price for the longest time ever. Of course, this is the long-term support here on the price that's been in play since 2022. Of course, quite recently, the prices haven't come down to touch this level, but they are not quite far off. Of course, that means not only do we have this general support area at the 2 cents level, just beneath it as well, we've got this ultra long-term support here on the price. So unless something terrible happens here on Alchemy Pay, I personally don't think prices are going to be slipping much below this long-term support. Of course, this is my area of invalidation for this idea that I'm coming up with. So basically, in my opinion, if the prices fall much below this 1.9 cents level here on Alchemy Pay, it kind of invalidates what I'm about to say. But for the time being, what I'm eyeing is this general structure. It's still in play here on Alchemy Pay. It's a very powerful ascending triangle structure. Of course, what you guys can see is this long-term support going across, and we've got this resistance that's been in play now again for an extremely long period. You can see multiple occasions where Alchemy Pay has come up to this blue resistance here and it's bounced back down. Of course, most recently we touched this resistance in that pump that we had at the start of February here on Alchemy Pay. Now, of course, when this uptrend does resume, and I do believe it will, then we should see prices come back up to this level once again. Of course, it's been a resistance on 3 other occasions. So in theory, if crypto goes back up, Bitcoin starts to make new all-time high again, which I strongly believe it will, then we should see Alchemy Pay get back up to this level. And that will be a level I would be extremely interested to watch here on Alchemy Pay, because if we break past this resistance and convincingly see a break, because if we break out from this resistance, we see a convincing breakout, maybe even a retest of that resistance as a support before continuation, then this could trigger off this massive ascending triangle pattern. A 3-year long pattern is definitely one to watch out for. Of course, if we break out to the upside, we would be looking at this as the potential price target. Of course, that is a 600% upside from when we break past that resistance, which sits at 5.2 cents. Of course, that would give us a price target here on Alchemy Pay of 35 cents. And of course, if you're looking for a great place to trade this potential breakout on Alchemy Pay, then look no further than the MEX exchange. This is the exchange that I use for all my trading because they have some of the lowest trading fees. They don't require KYC to get started, and for a very limited time only, they're giving every new user who signs up using the link down below a free $20 to get started. So if you want to make use of that offer, click in the link in the description down below, fill out your details. It takes less than a minute to do so. Deposit some fiat or crypto into your account and they'll give you that $20 to get started. Of course, on top of spot trading, they even have futures trading here for Alchemy Pay, where you can trade it with up to 20 times leverage. So again, if you want to try that out, link is in the description down below. As always, guys, thank you so much for your support. Back into this video. So this is the potential upside picture that I'm really watching. Of course, what gives me extra conviction to this as well is the fact that if we go on the MACD, we also see a very similar picture. Not on the 1 day MACD, but on the 1 week long-term MACD. You can see that the MACD, just like the price, is coiling in between a support and resistance. Of course, the triangle on the MACD does look a little bit different, but nonetheless, the implication is exactly the same. What we could see then is when the prices start to recover here on Alchemy Pay, we start to reclaim this 5 cents region as we approach this resistance. What we could see on the MACD is something looking a little bit like this. And of course, if we break past that resistance there and we break past the resistance on the MACD also, that should add a lot of momentum to the upside. Of course, this is a long-term momentum swing. If we break out to the upside, we should be able to keep on going for quite a while here. And that could correspond to a price looking like this here on Alchemy Pay. So the prospect of this breakout of this triangle is something that I am particularly excited about. Of course, I'm also excited about getting to this resistance in the first place, but this breakout is a massive, massive trade. And of course, if you just look at this chart, I do think the risk to reward in buying Alchemy Pay is very, very favorable right now. Like I said, my invalidation level is if we cross below this support level down here. If we get below 1.9 cents, then we've lost this long-term support here, and it kind of changes this whole structure that we are watching, and it's not a risk that I want to take. So of course, the risk to reward at the moment, like I say, is very, very favorable. Of course, in the worst case scenario, the prices drop 20% from where they are now and you cut your losses. Of course, we're looking at a potential upside here of 35 cents, which from where the price is right now is sitting at nearly 1,400%. So that risk to reward, in my opinion, is extremely favorable. Even if it only gets to this upper resistance line, that's still 111% in the upwards direction, still very good risk to reward. Of course, couple that with the fact that we are seeing bottom signals from quite a lot of different sources. Of course, I'm going to show you a few of them. The first one here is obviously Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin has seen quite an important bottom over the past few days. Of course, Bitcoin is just correlated to cryptos in general. So if Bitcoin's doing well, then we'll also see Alchemy Pay doing well. And as you can see, this is the bullish support that I've been monitoring here on Bitcoin. The prices of Bitcoin over the past few days has come to touch this bullish support, and we saw a strong bounce off of this region. Now, I expect something like this green path over the next few weeks here on Bitcoin. Of course, I do believe Bitcoin is going to be making new highs, given the fact that we've had so much bullish information come out over the past few weeks for crypto. And as long as Bitcoin can keep above its bullish support, then this thesis here is still in play. And of course, if Bitcoin is doing that, then I expect Alchemy Pay to be at least heading up to this resistance here at 5.2 cents. On top of that as well, we're seeing massive fear in the markets. Of course, yesterday was a record low for the fear and greed index on CoinMarketCap. It hit 15. And just to put that in perspective, the low in 2023, when Bitcoin was trading at roughly $25,000, was 34. So we've seen massive amounts of fear in the market. And just like the saying goes, buy when others are fearful and sell when others are greedy. And of course, if you can do that in crypto, I think you will be doing very well in general. If we can have a look at the peaks and bottoms here on the fear and greed index and correlate that to the price. Of course, one of the major dips here was in September 2024 when the fear and greed index was at a low there at 26. And of course, at the time, the price of Bitcoin there was 50,000. If you bought in that dip, just a few months later, the market would return to extreme greed and the prices of Bitcoin would basically double there to $100,000. Of course, if you're sold at the top of the extreme greed there, you would have sold near the top of Bitcoin as well. So market sentiment, in my opinion, is a very good guide as to when to buy and sell your crypto. Of course, if you believe that we are going to return to greed and extreme greed here in crypto in 2025, which I believe is extremely likely, then now is still a really good time to be buying into your favorite cryptos. So this is another strong sign, in my opinion, that we've seen a bottom here in crypto. We've seen a generational fearful market here. Very, very rare that we see extreme fear in crypto, particularly in a bull market year. Of course, the final thing that I want to show you guys is this chart here is still intact. Of course, we saw a beautiful cup and handle pattern, a very bullish chart pattern on the crypto total market cap. The price target, or should I say the market cap target of this chart, was sitting at $10 trillion. Of course, we saw a clear breakout from the handle, as you can see where my cursor is now. Prices came down throughout February and March to test this resistance of the cup, and we saw a nice bounce so far from this level. Of course, we're not quite out of the woods just yet. We're still monitoring this chart, but if we can see the next several days green here on the total crypto market cap, this will be a confirmed retest of that resistance, and that would make me even more bullish to see that $10 trillion target hit by 2025 here on the total crypto market cap. So structures of all the charts are still looking quite bullish, in my opinion. Of course, Alchemy Pay is close to its support level, so it's a great buy in my opinion. At the end of the day, what I'd like to see in 2025 is this target. But first, let's try and reclaim that 5.2 cents. Of course, we have this resistance in the shorter term that we are watching. If we can break through that, that would be a really good start for more upside here on Alchemy Pay. For now though, that's all I have to say here on the charts. So again, do let me know down in the comments if you are still holding your Alchemy Pay, and let me know if you're feeling bullish or bearish here in crypto right now. Otherwise guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.